Now from our spokesperson, Sir Sylvester Hilary Stroud Lowe.
Yeah, so camp, trees, rock, log, tarp,
10 peg.
bungee cord.
That's not 10 peg. Thank you, Sir Sylvester Hilary Stroud Lowe. You're amazing. 10 peg's amazing.
Hey, yo, where to put my knife?
Seasons don't have reasons, for the reasons of the season is true. You have turned it on, and this feeling's growing strong for you.
It's just after dark here on May the 6th. I'm hearing little chirpy frogs all over. Is it ever beautiful? What a rough ride in. This is the trail, and it's more of just what a glacier stripped away tens of thousands of years ago is what you're riding on. I would have stopped film then to show you exactly what it was. I was in amazement, and it's rough. This trail is as rough as any Rocky Mountain trail. Beautiful spot in here. Yeah, but as you see, oh, isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Well worth the struggle and the effort to get in here. And just the sounds. I'm going to set up quickly. I'm going to have to. The sun is completely beyond or down below the horizon. Ooh, this is me. Not too far away from Spryfield, but it sounds like I am in the dead of Northern Ontario or Newfoundland or something. This is a totally different landscape than where I bike back and forth to work, where I came from today. So I did get off work and pretty much try to rush over here. Rushing was not the idea getting in here, I can tell you, because it was rough and I was taking risk of spraining an ankle or injuring myself. So I took it slow, but here I am, a way in, off out of the road. I don't suspect anybody but me is going to be out here tonight. I hope. Or maybe. Anyways, I'm going to try to set up something really quick. It's after dark. I need to do it as quick as I can. I don't want to be stumbling around in the dark. So I've got a plan just for these kind of conditions where it may be just a little too rocky for tent pegs. You try busting a tent peg into that, you're not going to do very well. So I'm going to try another solution here when I find a decent spot. But as you see, the way the trees are, a lot of dead tree, a lot of dead foliage. There's not a lot of shelter from the wind and the rain, but it is dead calm tonight, so I'm going to use my resources and try to put up something special. And we'll get right at it. Cheers. I'm going to say time is energy. There, when it's this dark, and believe me, it's dark, because when that sun falls, you don't have much time. I mean, it looks on the camera here much, much brighter than I see it. I am really going to have to throw up something quick and camp wherever I fall, and I think that's where it's going to have to be. I can't stomp around anymore trying to find the perfect spot. I've tried. I think it's as good as it gets tonight. It's a dry night. It should be dry tomorrow, and it's supposed to go down to 0. I'm going to tell you, I put myself into this position tonight because I'm going to give it a rough case scenario. This is conditioning to me. having to make those decisions. How deep do you go away from trails and stuff? In this situation, trying to go too deep away from them. And you want to be a little stealthy, and however, if anything happens, you don't want to be that stealthy either. You want people to be able to see you. So I'm going to set something up very quickly. I don't know if there's going to be enough light tonight to show you, but tomorrow I certainly will, and I'll certainly show you the trail that I came in on. This is rough terrain. This is what you'd expect in the backwoods of the Yukon, Northwest Territories, where there's still trees. Northern Ontario, this kind of stuff. It's rough here. Surprisingly rough. I mean, imagine a kilometer-high glacier ripping over the surface. The scars it's left. I can't find very much level ground except the tops of this granite that is scraped away. I'm in awe. This is just barely outside of Halifax. Well, technically I think it's still in Halifax, but just really the outer boundaries. I'm not going to ramble too much longer. It's getting dark. Okay, I'll see you soon. I hope.
This was very uneven ground, and you could tell by the cracking and breaking of the branches underfoot. Really took a risk of twisting an ankle, twisting a knee, and finding myself in there deep and hoping that somebody might come along the next day if I was injured. A big risk in there, but it was so dark at that time trying to set up. And you're setting up a lot slower, a lot more careful in what you do with everything you do, just basically because you can't see what you're doing. But boy, yeah, just a quick hook into the tarp with the bungee cords, and then just trying to find a good spot to hook the other hook into and stretch it out. In that case there, just a little tree I think I'm wrapping around there, and I'll just secure it snugly in the back.
This setup here instead of a camouflage, because in this situation I don't want to be stealthy. You're weighing the risk here. I don't think anybody's going to be out here at 0 degrees temperature tonight, because it's hard to get in here as I see. My risk might be bears looking for food early spring. As for people, I don't think so. My greatest risk out here is myself. I think quite literally. As I'm stumbling around the dark, I'm giving a very bad example. I should be in there, resting, undercover, doing my thing. But I do just want to point that out. I'm taking a risk. The greatest risk right now out here is myself. This really is the next thing to sleeping under the stars. I never expected this. But that's my point of view right now. Crumpling the tarp underneath my body. It was working as a slip and slide. I'll tell you. Yeah, because I was actually sliding down with the sleeping bag, because I'm on a slope here, sliding down that way. And sliding almost right out from underneath the tarp here. So I kind of moved everything up a little bit, readjusted myself. Where am I? Right here. Underneath there now. So hopefully this works a little bit better. And I think I'll just basically have to curl up right now and just go to sleep. Sort of. But, yeah, it's rough. I'm roughed in here. But it's working. I would just calm down, relax, and prepare myself, go to sleep. I'll be good. But I love hearing these frogs. Oh, it's just wonderful. Anyways, chirpy, chirpy. Life under a tarp. Well, it's just about 5 in the morning. I'm stirring a little bit. I'm basically up just about before the birds. I've heard a couple of chirps already and a Canadian goose do a little honky honk. But woke up to find just a little bit of a glow on the horizon now, as you can see, through the silhouette of the trees. But it's lovely. I also want to talk because the wind is all but dead calm. So that helped a great deal throughout the night. I've so far slept very, very well. Well, looking straight up at the tarp, you can see there's a lot more light. And it's getting a lot more noisier out here. I'm hearing birds, not just the little chickadees off there. But I'm hearing birds I haven't heard since, again, I was, I guess in, it was probably Ontario. I think even that one bird that sounded like one that I heard in BC for the first time. So whatever that is. And I've heard birds this morning here that I don't think I've ever heard before. Well, sometimes I lay around till the sun comes up. The sun's a source of warmth, source of energy. And as you've seen last night in the dark, a source of light, just so I can see. And I'm looking around here. I can see a lot. I actually see better that little tree I tied to. Oh, what else do I see? Oh, there's my bike. And that big long bungee cord going off there to help hold up this end of the tarp. Yeah. Well, I guess it's about time. Well, I get up. Well, here I am under a tarp. Just a single tarp. It was warm last night under my, or in, I wouldn't say under, without any little foam mat or anything underneath, being wrapped up completely in the sleeping bag certainly sheltered me from the rocks and the sticks and everything else underneath. I was surprisingly much more comfortable than I anticipated. Especially, like, I was stumbling around, maybe for a half hour here last night trying to find a suitable flat surface to rest on. I wasn't able to. And I finally said, like, you're not about to take one more step, Trevor. You got to settle in exactly where you're standing. And wasn't perfect. Certainly underneath the tarp here, there's rocks and nasty sticks and everything. But yeah, when it's getting that dark, you camp. Stop stumbling around. You're in for a world of hurt if you keep going. You're wasting your energy. Time is energy. You're wasting that. Get in, get to sleep. Simple. Is this tarp any help to me? If anything, it makes me feel good. But it is here. there was no chance of rain last night by what the forecast said, but I did wake up in the night and I seen some clouds forming, and it's nice to sleep under the stars without anything, just a sleeping bag and maybe a tarp, or maybe just a sleeping bag itself. That's all you have. That's fine, if the conditions are right. The conditions were right last night that I probably could have got away with just the sleeping bag and not even worry about doing this. I could have just basically threw down the sleeping bag and went to sleep. But again, seeing the clouds overhead and form last night, you just don't know. You might have a slight shower that comes through, and that could soak your sleeping bag, and then that's going to leave you shivering. That said, I was already soaked coming in. It was a lot of exertion to get through the terrain that I'm going to show you soon, that I had to go through, and it's not going to give you an idea, me filming it, it won't, to what I'm actually facing. It's tougher to show it on video than to actually show you in person. But I said, I worked up a sweat, and I wasn't shivering through the night. As I said before, water is your friend on the inside and your enemy on the outside. Having wet clothes, not a good thing. My advantage last night was the minus 30-degree sleeping bag, for sure. On top of that, as I'm wearing now, as I'm talking to you, underneath this initial layer, it's merino wool, and merino wool. So I call it again the animal element. I didn't come out here with any source of fireage. No propane flame. I didn't take time to grab a whole bunch of dry sticks, and believe me, there's a lot of dry sticks right now. A lot of deadfall here too. That I could probably, as I'm looking over at a leaf, you could probably gather together and start yourself a little fire. I like the animal element. You have the fur, in this case merino wool, on your back, in your belly, in your arms, to go with. So, the sun comes up, you hear the birds sing, you're out. You get moving, right? Start generating heat again for yourself, and let that fur hold that heat in. So me just sitting here, I'm going to be losing my body heat because I'm not generating much. That said, I think that's all I really need to say. Did I need a tarp last night? No, but it was a good idea to put over my head just in case. Did I need fireage? No, I did okay. Did I need to camp quickly after that sun went down? Definitely. Did I pick the right spot? Was it ideal? Well, no, it wasn't ideal. Not an ideal spot. But I did make the right decision. Where I'm laying, it's again not a very good spot, but when you have to throw down, you gotta throw down. Like, enough searching around is enough. That said, what you couldn't see really last night is just how bright green this tarp is. Now, if I had a situation, maybe I was playing around with a knife in the middle of the night and I got goofy, and I cut myself and I'm bleeding out and desperate, I give a 911 call. I don't have a camouflage tarp. I say I'm under a bright green tarp, just off the trail, really just off the trail. They can find me. Marvelous to be out here, just for the scenery. It's glorious. but it's rough terrain. This is pretty, this is what you're going over on a bike. You know, as you can see, the bike tracks right there. You know, you bike along and look, you got a holy boulder molder right here to go over. Up as I'm trying to walk onto these things. It looks like somebody slipped the boulder in between to make it a little bit more. But this is the terrain. As there is a lake in the back, I'm heading to another lake here in about a month. Brigadoon Village. It is a camp for children with special needs. All my stumbling and walking around here, it's amazing, because as a kid myself at the age of 15, I almost lost my leg in a wicked battle to try to keep it. I do have a saying: because you limp doesn't mean you're broken. In fact, it displays you are not. And from that moment that I was injured was the moment I started limping. You have to limp, you know, from an injury like that. And your key is to try not to limp. That's your goal. So I do limp now and then, but I try to reduce that limp as much as I can. And some of it is this, you know, taking on challenges, taking on the terrain, challenging your body. Let's start dismantling. You know, it is simply that. That's done. Let's pull that. One hand, done. This one, done. Okay, looks like I went around that, under through there. Done. Now the tension's off. These ones are done. Done. Oops. Done. What am I left with? Oh, up in here. I'm telling you. That is it. Not a perfect situation if you didn't want that to happen last night. It getting dark that quick. It did take me a lot longer to get in here. I really didn't expect it to be as rough as it was. That said, it not being perfect, it was perfect to show, you know, under those conditions, you've got to change. And that's what it's all about. Options and adjustments. That's your survival out in the wilderness of Halifax County. Nova Scotia, Canada. Options, adjustments. And that's what I think any of the videos I'm going to show you is going to be about. You know, here are your options. Here's how you adjust. Each circumstance, the weather, all of that is going to dictate what's going to go on. You know, where you camp dictates how you're going to camp. And last night I slept probably in the roughest spot I've ever slept, but I slept well, quite well, without even a mattress. But in a beautiful area. It's so wonderful. Like, this is my land. That's my rock right there. I own that. Those I don't, but the rest, I own this. That squawk box up there, yeah, well, he owns himself. And that little lake over there, that's mine. And it could be yours. You just have to come out here and get it. This has been such an amazing surprise to me, to get out here and actually look. I see it on a map. All of this, you can see on the map, these lines of gray and white, and you know, that I'm now seeing out there through the trees. That you just, from up in the air there, looking down from the satellite, the photo, it's amazing. Like, you could actually see where the glaciers just ripped these rocks through. They're out there somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, some of them. But this is not the trail. Right here, you know. Although it looks like a trail. The trail is down there, which is basically the same as this. Coming in here last night was so difficult because you're trying to follow the trail. And if it wasn't for the technology, this right here, this cell phone, with the map in telling me where things are, and then me actually saying, okay, I am getting off the path, get back on the path. It is so disorienting. You know, you don't, like, I mean, that looks like a path. Like, you can see right there. That's not the path. Again, the path is down there. I'm going to get back down there to the path, right along there, and get out of here. But it breaks, it disappears. You go over, you got obstacles, much like this, to climb up and over, and oh, it's a mess out there. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. I love it. But it builds up the strength. You know, yeah, this is great training. A great training area for Trevor in preparation to go across Canada. It's actually, I couldn't ask any better of the worst here. And it's virtually in my backyard. It's about, well, what is said on the map was 13 kilometers away from where I live. So that's across the McDonald Bridge, Halifax Harbor, and along the way, just past Bryfield, and here I am. So this is the trail, and it is just bedrock, which is absolutely amazing to me if I don't fall over. Well, now that it's lighter out, I've been able to discover these little dots. I don't think I've seen them last night, or wasn't paying attention enough. But nice little trails through here, for sure. Good for biking. I wish I had a helmet cam instead of just a cell phone. That may or may not come. But yeah, that's quite slick. I'm going to try to navigate my way out of here. It's just so hard to navigate. You can get off a trail really quick here, especially up ahead coming in. You get pushed off. You like, this can't be the trail. You see something a little easier, and next thing you know, you're off the trail. Anyways, doodly-doo. So there's a good view of where I just was, down near by that lake, and that is the Atlantic Ocean straight ahead. How far was I from civilization? It's wilderness here. It's wilderness. Incredible, harsh, rugged wilderness. They'll kill you. And here's civilization infringing on it so quickly. Yeah, that's sad. This stuff that don't seem too valuable to, I guess, people who want to build things like that. This is a very, very, almost magical place. Wow. Anyways, let's get moving. Let's get saving. We need to save stuff like this. Halifax, don't build anything through here. Blue dot. Another blue dot. I'm on the trail. Yay. Ooh, another blue dot. I'm on the trail. I'm on the trail. I'm gonna live. I'm on the trail. Another blue dot. There's also a sign. That looks like the trail going there. I'm just going to stop look at my map and see where I'm located. As man, I mean, as you can see, there's somebody going off that way on a bike, off on another trail. Absolutely gorgeous. Blue dot. It's incredible here. I mean, off over there, Halifax, the city over here. My eyes up ahead here. I'm gonna go off my bike. Oop. But really, just the pathway is. Did I get distracted already? I don't see any more blue dots. But yeah, the path just basically takes you along over top the bedrock. You navigate onward and such. I don't think I get off the trail, did I? A little breezy here. I just have to take a break just to get a bit of a view. Like this is gorgeous. Backside of Halifax there. Wow, downtown. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I tell you, man. I'm blown away by the scenery here. The ruggedness. Like, I've seen it before, but I never thought it was in, well, the backyard here. But yeah, the camping experience was fun. You know, I'm gonna have to sleep anyway, so why not on a Friday night come out here and camp it out? And it's quite the wilderness area here. Incredible park.